Welcome back to Ty Squared. It's your boy Ty.
And
Ty Gang. So, we're going to try this out for a couple episodes coming on visual just because one of them days review. By the way, if you haven't seen our review, definitely go watch our movie review of one of them days. And you'll hear the flop story of how I almost met Kiki Palmer. And I will reiterate again. Y'all ain't shit. You know who you are. At any rate, we'll be coming to y'all visually for a limited time only, and we'll see how these numbers go. We're trying to get more people to head over to Spotify, so if you enjoy these snippets, definitely check out the full-length episodes on Spotify. And I'm gonna work on getting it distributed in more podcasting areas, but just give us time. I'm hollering. That too. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not talking unless you are liking, subscribing, and cash apping me 2,000 or more. That's the motto of the year, or more. Okay, at any rate, now that we got some laughs out the way, let's go ahead and get into unpopular opinions. So this episode will consist of my unpopular opinions. I've compiled, I think, about 11 or 12. And then the next episode will feature Ty's unpopular opinions. So, with that being said, my first unpopular opinion is couples should be vetted before having children. And what I mean by this is there are so many people in this world who have progeny and treat them like shit. They are undeserving of kids. And then on the same token, you'll look at people who are struggling to have children, whether it's financial reasons or reproductive reasonings, whatever their situations may be. And they would want nothing more to love for their child. They're not worried about how they come out. They're not worried about how they show up in the world. They just want a healthy child. So when I look at the people who definitely do not deserve lineage, like, I'm almost like, if somebody was able to go and survey the people at your church, your job, ask about how your upbringing was, check your history in school, things of that nature. If somebody had to do that in order for people to have kids, I don't think a lot of us would be here. I honestly don't. And I don't know necessarily like how that would work out. You know, of course, American government is not to be trusted. So, especially not now. So, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs, but I mean, that is a popular opinion that I do hold. Couples should be vetted. The state of their union should be looked into. Even if y'all are not going to be together for the child, you know, or be together, at least are y'all there together for the child. All things of that nature. And yeah, I'm standing on that. What do you think, Ty?
Yeah, I can see that happening because there's a lot of people out here with kids that don't need kids and other, tragedies. Yeah, I can understand that.
Okay. So y'all let us know down below what y'all think. Let's go to our next unpopular opinion. So, this one gonna shake the table a bit. So, I was having this conversation online, and it led me to the realization, and also just me looking at how we as Black men image ourselves online, the things we talk about, converse about, things of that nature. Waves and wigs are the same damn thing. And what I mean by that is, in the same way that a lot of Black women do not know how to do their own hair and deal with their own hair because of how society tells us what our hair looks like, what it is, how we are never good enough, all of those things. There's a bunch of psychological things that go into why a lot of Black people don't like their Blackness. So for me, The waves are no different than the wigs. And I brought that up because I see a lot of black men constantly making weave jokes saying, "Oh, why don't you take the white woman's hair off your head?" And you know, this just nasty stuff. The way that we go bicker back and forth online as black people, I hate to see it. And now, one thing I will say is a lot of the black women are starting to give it back to y'all asses. I can't say I don't enjoy it. I'm not. I'm not gonna lie, because y'all be just unprovoked. Like there was this. I meant to grab this screenshot, but there was this video of this. I don't know if you saw it. It's a couple. Excuse me. There's a couple. And the girl. He runs by and picks her up. Did you see that by chance? Okay. Basically, what it is it's their skit, I guess, or their thing. He runs by, he picks her up. There was a girl that clarified, or you know, she made a tweet, and she basically was saying that it was her core that was allowing them to do this so easily. Anybody that's well versed in like um acrobatics, ballet, how you know the core human body works and the core and ab strength and all that stuff. Like those strippers have to be able to pick to get on that pole and look. That's core, baby. So you did have some women in the comments saying, well, actually, the core is what's helping him be able to lift her up so easily because she's staying stiff the whole time, sideways. So basically, they were just breaking that down. And you literally have black men in the comments saying, this is why nobody wants black women. And I'm like, because they're giving y'all the facts. Like, nobody said Buddy is weak or he, you know, can't lift the straw on a good day. But the fact is, her core is allowing her to be so stiff while he is holding her. Yeah, she ain't, you know, 20 pounds, but I mean, she's not 250 either. So I just, and that's another thing I've noticed too. The way that black men respond to black women, it just can be very nasty at times. It don't take all that. You know what I'm saying? And then when they give it back to y'all, it just, I don't know. The in-house fighting, it's just lame. It's corny to me. I think we should all be united on one front. And when somebody doing fuck shit, I don't care what's between your legs. I'm going to call it for what it is. I didn't spare Karen Huger black ass. I'm not going to spare Leangelo. Well, he mixed, but child. You know them black daddy biracials. Let me stop. But, oh my God. That just made me think about something I got to tell you about. Uh, she's a cougar.
Well,
Oh my God. Oh my God. I got to tell you later. So anyway, but no, back to what I was saying. All the discourse and online stuff aside, waves and wigs are, to me, they're the same shit. You know, black people are dealing with the same problems. It manifests in different ways. Black women, as women in general, tend to be heavier on the cosmetic sides of things. So yeah, you're gonna see more. Well, and I don't even want to say that because I mean, how many niggas do you know that freak out when they don't have, like when they barber got to cancel their appointment or whatever? You know what I'm saying and shit like that. Like
yeah.
the same type of obsession with hair is there with black men. It just looks different than it does on black women. And I don't like. And then also, what is pointing that out? Like, what good does that do? Like, if we're not talking about solutions to the problem, then you know we having a pissing contest of self hatred. Like, I don't know. It just it's weird to me. But yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I very much. It's not funny, but it was kind of funny when you when you was looking around when the girl was explaining her core and the man was mad. Like what the hell?
I feel like incel culture is so mainstream, and it's not just incels, but the beliefs that they hold about women. So like men really feel like the way that men get nasty with women when they're rejected. Like they really feel like they are like they're bringing masculinity back. Oh my God, God help us. But yeah, what do you think? I'm sorry.
No, that was it. I agree.
Yeah, like I just felt like it's self hatred manifested in two different ways, but they're the same fucking thing. And then like, I'm sorry, the race of men that sleep out the most, you're not gonna tell me shit about how you do not know. I like I said, I'm glad to see black women finding their voice and giving it right back to these niggas. Cause it it just the responses I be seeing, the replies I be seeing. This is why nobody wants you. It's like y'all niggas are still running on that same societal conditioning type of response. Like when everybody wants to like, and then it's like, okay, y'all say this one day, but we all know blackness is the standard and black women are the standard. So what are we even talking about here? Like, I think a lot of black men need to focus on them and fixing what is wrong with us collectively. Focus on that, because black women's social report card is shitting on ours. You know, yeah, you got the sexy reds and stuff, but you also have black women open up businesses left and right, getting funds for like investment funds and things of that nature. Which I saw black men mad about that. Like there was some black women only type of thing, and they were under there sounding just like white men, talking about some handout, so this, so that. Y'all niggas don't even want to go to school. Y'all niggas, most of y'all read at like a third grade level. So what are you mad about? I'm just being honest, and I'm so serious. Like the conversations I've heard, like, mind you, I work in food and beverage, so I ain't gonna say they just hire anybody, but like a lot of the conversations are just very immature. And I'm 27, and some of these people are twice my age. So, and now I'll just leave it there. But my next unpopular opinion is, you're gonna need to have the range to debate with me. I don't like going back and forth with people. Like, the conversation I told you that happened yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So when I call you out on things that can be viewed the same way as the things that you're critiquing me about, and you don't have anything to say, yeah, like that's annoying as hell. Um, when people have these loud speeches about racism, colorism, sexism, blah blah blah, go down the list, these long systemic ideologies and clusterfucks, let's just call them what they are. Like when people go down these like long rabbit holes and they're just loud and fucking wrong, it is annoying as hell to try to like debate with that. You know what I'm saying? And then like I've had this conversation before with my folks, and they've said like this generation is not kind when it comes to like even trying to give understanding. And I told them, I was like, well, some people aren't asking to understand, they're asking to disagree. Or they're just asking to start some more shit. Like it's not an actual genuine conversation where they're actually trying to get genuine solutions. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes it's to victimize somebody. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we talk about, like, I feel the troubles that minorities go through, especially black people. I feel like minorities is loud, black is silent. And we don't even have just, and I say we all we got, but I don't even say that anymore because we're not. You got black people by far are just as conservative as anybody else, especially when it comes to us. Like I remember seeing this white boy, and it was so weird. He was like what you would say is an incel or a dweeb or a geek in the white community, but he was rapping, and he got niggas behind him, of course. I don't like it. I don't like it. But at any rate, and they said black people are so accepting, and somebody said of everybody but their own, and I liked it because we don't allow black alternatives the space to be themselves. And I'm not talking about like the characters, like Alfonso Ribeiro. Like one time I did a podcast on him, and I did give him a little bit of grace because he probably was one of those black people that was ostracized for being different. But at the same time, it's almost like ooh, let me just say the role of Carlton was fitting. Have you seen him? And or not him? No. He done said some crazy stuff. But have you seen the shit that Jaleel White has said? Oh my God! Like he really is Steve Urkel. He wanted the reboot to come back, and he wanted Laura to be a baby mama because she never accepted Steve. The
I'm,
Tyler Perry of it all.
I'm, instead of being like, one happy
A
family.
wholesome family like it was. You wouldn't
Yeah.
like, oh my God. And then y'all would do stuff like that and be mad when our imagery is fucked up. But you just made Steve a baby daddy. I don't know. And I'm not saying that single parents should be judged either, but I do think in our community to say that single parenthood does not have a stain on it because of how it oftentimes is illustrated in our community, I think we would be dense if we were not to be honest about that. And I come from a two-parent household. We've had our issues as well, and they're married still. So, um, I'm not saying that it's always green on the other side either, but at the same time, like it just be a lot with the baby mama, baby daddy stuff in the Black community. I feel like
Mhm.
look real ghetto, and not because of it, but because of how it is portrayed. Like for instance, remember the McDonald's skit where she said he didn't get food for her baby or something like that.
I don't know
It
about
was
that.
remember the guy came back with food for McDonald's, but he only gave his kid McDonald's, I think, or something like that. It was a couple years ago. It
Oh,
turned out being a skit, I think. But it was believable because, like,
that happens.
yeah. And there are too many enablers in this community who would say that nigga was right. He ain't got to feed nobody but his kid. And yeah, you don't have to, but it's McDonald's, bitch. You that broke to where you can't get them kids some six pieces and keep it fucking moving?
And that's a child.
Mm-hmm. Boys will be boys. Um, so my next unpopular opinion is, oh, well, what did you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mm, okay. My next unpopular opinion is community policing is a terrible idea. Terrible. And I'm going to tell you why with my next unpopular opinion. So then you can let me know what you think. So the reason why I would say that, one of the reasons, a lot of people will suffer. Well, my next, sorry, they tie in together, but they don't. So my next one was a lot of people will suffer because they refuse to unpack their bigotry slash societal programming. Um, and that's why I don't think community police would be a good idea. A lot of people feel just the same way as racist people. They just don't have the power to use that, evilness that they feel. Um, and I mean, like, we see it all the time. It's like we see it as Black people, but we don't call it out. Like, Black Lives Matter, I will never forget. There was such a different response for the, when I think of, like, Armand Arbery, I think that was his name. Is that it? Armand,
The,
the
the
Black guy
one
that was
that
running?
was killed in black and broad
Yeah, yeah.
daylight.
Yeah, when I think about him, um, when I think about George Floyd. And then there was this one, oh my God, he was Black, he was gay, and I can't remember his name, but I remember the community being very, very much less vocal about that. And it's like, if there's so many in-house problems, then what is the point of even talking about unity, white supremacy, all this? Because if y'all motherfuckers get free, y'all gonna be just as nasty towards your own because they're not showing up how you want them to be in Blackness than a white person would be. Even nastier, really, because y'all accept, like, black people, they do not, they might, spew hate at Black LGBTQ people and, Black fat people or, people in those minority pockets. They might spew hate there, but y'all know how to act when it's a white person. It don't matter what they show up as, what they look like. And I'm not talking about talking no shit in the comments because anybody could do that. But I'm just saying, a lot of y'all need to remember the chain of food is straight, white, male, Christian thin. If you're not all of that,
Yep.
it can always be you. It can always be you. There's no
Yep.
need to be sitting here throwing or acting celebratory about trans rights being revoked or gay marriage or any of those things because they can come for your Black ass too and they will. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why you think being straight would save you. Like, y'all, is it on? Turn it on.
Like half the
And
people out here now that thought Trump was going to save them, but there's been
they're
mass.
finding the fuck out.
Yeah.
Friend, I was in Walgreens waiting for 20 minutes, I believe. 20 to 30 minutes to get my passport photo. Which, by the way, it was giving mugshot.
Oh, you got it. Congrats.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got the passport yet, but I got the photo taken. And it took like 30 minutes because some other people came in. So, like, they're nervous. Granted, one of them was just renewing her passport. It's so funny because she was a white lady. So I'm like, where did you go? She said, I went to India for 2 weeks last year. And then I said, well, where else you been? She said, Europe. Europe. And it was my favorite. I enjoyed it the most. I'm sure you did, baby. I'm sure you did. With those eyes and that hair. Oh my God. But no, nonetheless, like people are scrambling. People, and that's another thing I put on there, Trump, in terms of unpacking systemic um or no, societal programming and bigotry. There's something in Trump that appealed to y'all motherfuckers enough for him to win. Whether it's his misogyny, I don't know why it is such a spectacle for y'all to, and maybe it's because y'all don't speak y'all's mind. Now, I am somebody who realizes I don't need to speak every time, at every turn. But the way that people just really go up for him and always say, he says what he says and don't give a fuck. So does Kanye and Curtis Jackson. That don't mean it's good. Like, what? Why is that such a commendable thing? He's a white man. I expect him to do that. Like, an old white man at that. So I don't. But like I said, nonetheless, there's something in Trump that appeals to his voters. Had they unpacked that shit, we might have been dealing with Kamala.
There's a
And
TikTok
these eggs
video.
might not be $17 by the time next year comes. What was you about to say though?
There's a TikTok video I need to send you. It kind of hits the line of what you were saying just now. His supporters and have the
Mm-hmm.
impact. What the hell is the deal with them and him?
Exactly. I wanted to go on a couple of list of quotes. And I want to talk about this quote from Betty White, and then just like y'all, this tired ass societal handbook. I'm so tired of, like, people are really progressive. They're not progressive. It may seem like things are progressive, and to some degree they are, but this country is definitely working on its way to regress. There are things in motion, the way that people are talking, these men and their loneliness epidemic, when the truth of the matter is y'all are intolerable to be around. Y'all are annoying as fuck. I work at a bar. Y'all get drunk and the shit y'all say is dumb. Y'all are idiots. We're gonna put this portion on Spotify. No, I said what the fuck I said. Like the brain is not, it's the floors are not all there. Like, so at any rate, I want to go to this quote from Marilyn Fry. It says, to say that straight men are heterosexual is to say that they only engage in sex, fucking exclusively the other sex, i.e. women. All or almost all of which that pertains to love, most straight men reserve for their other men. The people whom they admire, respect, adore, revere, honor, whom they imitate, idolize, and form profound attachments to, whom they are willing to teach and from whom they are willing to learn, and whose respect, admiration, recognition, honor, reverence, and love they desire, those are overwhelmingly other men. In their relations with women, what passes for respect is kindness, generosity, or paternalism. What passes for honor is removal to the pedestal. From women, they want devotion, service, and sex. Devotion, service, and sex. Heterosexual male culture is homoerotic. It is man-loving. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna need to actually read that myself to digest it a little bit more, but it sounds spot on. If I took that in correctly.
All right, I can send it to you. I'm pretty sure you absorbed it how it was said, but I agree with it. Like, a lot of men do just look at their women as, I like the updated version. I mean, hurry the fuck up, white trail. So anyway, I like the. Woof, 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 woof. I like the updated version. Erica De Niro says, which is maid, mule, and mattress, but devotion, service, and sex. That is what a lot of men look to women for. Like that's just the truth of the matter. Like on a lot of y'all, who y'all fear, who y'all love, who y'all want to be like, who y'all think y'all can learn from, it is other men. Like men are scared of other men. That's why they won't defend women when other men are harassing them. Because they know it can get violent very quickly. So when y'all say things like men are logical and they're not quick to anger and they're not emotional, yeah, y'all are. Anger is an emotion. I don't. Is it on? Like I. So at any rate, I'm trying not to sound so pissy, but I'm just like, oh my God, just when y'all question, when you take a look back and step out of how you've been told that this world works and actually look at it for what the fuck it is, y'all sound dumb. A lot of y'all sound dumb. It's worn out, it's tired, and the shit you're saying is not, some of it's never been applicable. There's this book a lot of these men are talking about they want traditional women. Look, there's this book called, and maybe you and I can get this book and we'll do a review on it, but it's called The Way We Never Were. And it talks about basically how all this idealized version of, the father comes home and cooks, or no, the father comes home, the mother cooks, the kids are in bed by 9 and 8. That shit was not happening back then. Y'all have been fed a load of bullshit. And this is America. Don't put nothing past this country.
1960s, 1970s sound like.
That part. And this shit was aimed in the 1950s. So think about where our black asses was at, where y'all always romanticizing traditionalism. Yeah, they bringing the racism back to it, and I hope y'all know that with your dumb asses. Shit. Y'all in this sun pissing me off. What? I wanted to sit in the boss chair. This is my fault. I should have sat where I was at. I'll fix it on the next episode. I'm not moving. I just want to. So this next quote is from this lady. She said, I just want to let y'all in on a secret. People be gay, and no amount of football or fighting or masculine activity is going to change that. Hardcore, hood-ass niggas be gay. The sooner you stop thinking masculinity defines sexual orientation, the better. What do you think about that?
110%. Yeah, that should have been mine.
I've been hit on by 2 dope boys before. Very awkward.
Well, 3.
Well, look at you, leveling up. I said, look at you, leveling up.
I'm talking about you.
Who was the third one?
One of your.
Huh? Who? What? Don't say the name.
It rhymes with daddy.
Come here, ho. What Jocelyn said. I forgot to put it in the last video when I mentioned it. What Jocelyn said. Come back here so I can break your neck, ho. Come back here so I can break your neck. Come back alone. Now come back alone. Yeah, shit. Would you say that you would? Oh, yeah. So you definitely agree with that. I agree with that too. And I think for me, with how, like, for instance, taking myself into an example, with how I present, I think for me, I'm not even really worried about what people think. I'm not here to answer your questions about me and my life. But my thing is the assumptions that people come up with and what they then move on. Like, people really do not respect men that are more on the feminine side of presenting. And y'all feel that y'all can say certain things or like sexualize us in a way. And it's very uncomfortable. It's very weird. And I'll put my foot down your throat. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, this the shit I've heard, the shit I be hearing, like the shit that people think is okay to say to me. And I know I can play along and be a jovial person, but if I don't know you, I don't know you like that. Some of y'all be this close to needing a pair of dentures, and y'all don't understand. But at any rate, moving on to the next quote. So this is a quote from Farida D. And it says the reason it's problematic when men say not all men is because what they actually mean is that they are not causing the problem and thus there is no problem. But there is a problem. There are so many problems caused by the patriarchy, which is created by and for men. And this self centered view of not me, so not all men is part of the problem because while problematic men normalize patriarchal ideologies, oh shit, say that 5 times, and systems that benefit all men at the expense of all women, and they're putting that in like stars, so I guess they mean quotes. Um, the men who aren't involved in this have normalized inaction on their part as, hey, they are not causing the problem. Yet the men who aren't causing the problem are still reaping the benefits created for all men by problematic men. And on top of that, gaslighting women by saying not all men. Yes, gaslighting, because if it truly was not all men, patriarchy wouldn't still survive because men would normalize holding one another accountable instead of normalizing collective, self-centered inaction summarized by the presence of screaming not all men. Oh, damn, that was a lot. What do you think about that?
Um, so is she, in a nutshell, trying to say, even though basically man causes problems, certain men say it's not them, so therefore they're blind to it because they're still a man and they technically still benefit off of it?
Yes, I think she's saying that, but even on a deeper level, you can take it. This is how I always take these situations. Now at the end of the day, especially you cannot tell a grown person what to do, especially a man. The way these motherfuckers socialize, they're not gonna take direction from, well, I mean, unless it's their homeboys, pretty much them. So, um, but I take it as um for instance, somebody could say not all men. And my thing would be, okay, show me the men in your family. How do they operate? And let's go from there. Your father, your brother, your uncles, your nephews, um, your grand shit, grandpa, you know what I'm saying? Um, what type of quality men are they? Do you hold them to task on that? Now I do get when you're dealing with older family members, it's not like you can't control nobody. But like for instance, if my dad and my mom, they're married. They've been married since I was born. If my dad was a bitter ass baby daddy and they didn't have like a and there was actually a time where they were considering co-parenting. But they actually genuinely like each other, so they, have been together since. If my dad was an ain't shit ass baby daddy, I wouldn't be dealing with his ass in my
Mm.
grown years. Hell, I wouldn't be dealing with him in my childhood, depending on if my mom would be the type of person that would still try to force their child towards him, even if he doesn't want to reciprocate. And I would say the same if the genders were on the other foot for the people who are going to say, what about the women? We talking about the men. We talk about the men. That's another thing that men do to triangulate these conversations that annoys the shit out of me. When it's time for other men to be accountable, y'all want to say it's not all men, but then y'all yoke in with a yolk is crazy because that's like an egg. Somebody meme that. But y'all dive in with your cape on, ready to defend a man because he got a dick. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it from a deeper lens than just what she's saying, but or not like what she's saying was not deep, but I just kind of analyze it a little further down. You know, me, I don't keep 3-time baby daddies as friends. I don't keep, anything that I view as a low grade on the report card of black men, specifically, especially because usually I have black men as friends. Um, well, yeah, for the most part. I mean, I have an Asian friend, and then I need a white friend, pal. I need a little access to the privilege. Oh shit! But no, I need a white friend. But no, I'm on Bumble. I be trying, but some of y'all be weird on there too. But that's another conversation for another day.
Man,
But at any rate, I needed to sit for that. But yeah, like I said, child, we about to light up. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, um, or like I was saying, um, I don't have men around me that I would not view as quality men to be in my space. A lot of men don't. Even if you are a semi-decent man and everybody's version of what a good man is different, he's a good man, Savannah. But hey, you guys, if you've enjoyed our podcast thus far, make sure you give us a like down below. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you would like us to discuss.
And if you would like to follow us on our other social media platforms, they are listed below in the description box.
Also, if you would like to hear the rest of this podcast episode,
then please head over to Spotify to check us out. All you have to do is type in
Tie Squared. Yeah. Shake the sign, shake the sign, shake your sign, shake your sign. Yeah. And if you didn't like the episode,
what you want, square up,